Okay. I was in London at the end of August 2018, just drinking with my friend, and I meet one of her friends and we start having a lovely chat. She says to me, "Oh, you're from Australia. How hot does it get there? We just had a heat wave here. It was fucking horrible." Me being me, I can't help but say, well, we can thank all that industrialized farming and oil and coal for that one. Then she looks at me and goes, "Oh, you're one of them." I'm like, "One of what?" "You believe in climate change and global warming." I stop for a moment and then just say, "What do you mean? What do you mean believe? We're not talking about the tooth fairy. Like, this is happening. This shit's real. I don't even think it's debatable anymore. It's agreed upon. We're fucking the planet." She then says to me, "But I saw this thing on the internet that says it isn't real." Oh man, I wish I could have been there with her when the IPCC report came out. When people try to pull this, I really just am so confused by how they can fall for this. When I thought it would be blatantly obvious that the people with the most money, the industries that are getting rich from fucking the climate, would then have money to then push the idea that they're not doing anything wrong, versus the other side of the argument where we're getting warned how we're going to completely ruin the earth. They really don't have any money in it. Scientists don't get paid a lot of money to go find this out. If you follow the money, it's so obvious, but okay, not many people think in those ways. But then there's just people that want to come up with these graphs to say that nothing's happening. Look, everything's been the same forever. Well, why doesn't the information go back to beyond the 70s and such? Well, they can. You can go back to the beginning of time with the time on an x-axis, but what's really important is what people decide to put on the y-axis. Because if you're trying to show the difference in temperature or frequency of disasters or whatever it is you're trying to, the decline in ice, on the y-axis, if you have it go in intervals of 1 or 10 or something reasonable, the information might actually look like you can read it and get something out of it. But if it's by the thousands and you're trying to show temperature, there's not going to be much difference. Everything's going to be in the same sort of section. So please check to see what numbers they're using on that y-axis. Oh, for the love of God, people. Some things I've had posted at me to be proof on their part ends up essentially being proof on my part if you look at the actual data. But anyways, once I've explained that in fact it is changing to my new friend, she then says to me, "Oh, but isn't the climate always changing?" There I am. So that looks like a heavy goalpost. Would you like me to help you move it? That goalpost looks really heavy. I'll help you move that. The whole, it's always been changing. There's been ice ages in the... Yeah, very good. Well done. And you're going to then tell me that all of that coal we burn, all of that oil, how we've pretty much made all the food we produce at some industrialized factory setting, all the cars driven, all of the trees we cut down, all of the chemicals we use, that's gonna make the change good? I don't see how that's possible. I'm pretty sure that everything combined, and that you now admit that it is changing, it will probably have a negative impact on the change. It will probably be getting worse. It'll probably be quite bad, don't you reckon? Like, without even all of the world scientists weighing in my mind, it's like if you had a confined space, or even just like a house, and you had to live in it with, let's say, half a dozen apple trees versus a couple of generators and some exhaust pipes and fumes from burning various things. I think the person with the trees is going to live a lot better, a lot longer, or actually might actually live versus someone stuck with a bunch of generators and exhaust pipes. Cars can kill you just from what they let out. Trees can't. It's just how it is. That's why I don't understand how there can still possibly be any sort of debate about it. Like, what do you people need? What will convince you for half of Greenland to completely melt and for the Marshall Islands to be completely covered, and then you might go, oh shit, maybe I was wrong. As for my new friend, she was coming around but not completely sold. She must have been given some potent propaganda. So I thought I'd deliver my finishing move, the one that you can't argue with. It's undeniable. I say to her, look, I was like, all right, let's just fuck it. We'll go with your argument. Say, yeah, it's all gravy, baby. It doesn't matter about any emissions or any other shit like that. Ice cap. Let's just bring it back to basics. Nothing anyone can say can argue that plastic in that sea, in those rivers, that plastic is not there. You cannot argue that those beaches are not littered. You can see it. You can touch it. It's there. So you can't say we're not fucking up the planet.